Michael and Jeff are watching a TV documentary about water. The documentary makes them realize how lucky they are to have access to drinking water. They are surprised that in some countries, a liter of water costs more than a liter of petrol. They learn there are alternative ways by which countries with a limited water supply can get water. These alternative ways are water recycling, fog harvesting, and reverse osmosis. In water recycling, wastewater is used to produce drinking water. Wastewater is screened to remove large-size objects to prevent them from entering the pumps. A coagulant is then added to remove fine particles and microorganisms. The water is passed through a clarifier to separate the clarified water, which is then filtered to remove fine solid particles. The filtered water is then chlorinated to kill the microorganisms. Finally, the water is stored and is now ready for distribution. Fog harvesting is the method used to produce water in places with frequent fog occurrences. Fog is collected through a material made of fine mesh called a fog collector or fog fence. The fog collected condenses into water. The water then drips and flows through the piping, which is then collected in storage tanks built at the bottom of the fog collector. Water obtained from this method are commonly used for irrigation and domestic purposes. Another alternative method is producing drinking water from seawater through a process called reverse osmosis. Seawater is drawn into intake structures of a water treatment plant and then filtered to remove solids such as sand and sediments. The next step is the reverse osmosis process, where the filtered seawater is pushed through semi-permeable membranes under high pressure. Fresh water passes through the filter, leaving behind the concentrated seawater. The fresh water is adjusted for pH and natural minerals, and fluoride are added. Chlorine is also added to disinfect the water. The water is now stored in tanks before distribution. On the other hand, the concentrated seawater is returned to the sea, which is diluted by currents within seconds.